How's it going, y'all? Welcome back to Dragon Age the Veilguard. This is part 26 of the playthrough. Last time we continued with the main story. We went to Arlathan and found out that the some Dalish elves were being kidnapped by the gods, and we needed to find and save them. We tracked the Venatori to a crater where Elgarnon was there, and we finally saw his dragon, his archdemon Lucicon, and he was doing a ritual essentially sacrificing the Dalish elves to his dragon to get it back to its full strength. We were able to rescue the Dalish elves with the help of Solas. Solas was able to distract Elgarnon while we rescued the Dalish elves, so we stopped him from sacrificing the Dalish elves. However, we didn't stop him from having his dragon regain its full strength, but he did have to sacrifice his Venatori cultists to do that. So in a way, we still won because we saved the Dalish elves, and he had to sacrifice his own people to do what he needed to do. His dragon is at full strength now, so that is not good. We'll have to deal with that later. We're back at the lighthouse now, and we got to talk to Solas and see where we can go from here. So before we do that, make sure you hit that subscribe button. It's greatly appreciated. Helps out the channel a lot. We're getting closer to that 200 goal. We're itching towards it, and we're almost there. So if you can, please hit that subscribe button. It's greatly appreciated. Now let's go and talk to Solas.
The Dalish prisoners escaped safely?
We got them away free and clear.
Good. Whatever my frustrations with them, it feels good to have helped my people again. Thank you for allowing me to help. Chance to infuriate Elgarnon was a reminder of simpler times.
You really hate Elgarnon.
You and Elgarnon were really tearing into one another back there.
I needed to goad him to anger in order to distract him.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, while all of the Venatori were monsters in their own ways, Elgarnon was the worst. Or perhaps it is more honest to say that his were the faults I've found most objectionable. You have met him now, heard his voice hammering at the doors of your mind, and you have met me. Can you see how he and I might frustrate one another?
He's brutal.
He uses his power to crush any opposition.
Yes. He is far more powerful than I am, and he wields that power like a graceless bludgeon. When I defeat an enemy, it is because I outsmarted them, because I was right. When he does, it is only because he was stronger.
Outsmarting someone and being right aren't exactly the same thing.
Aren't they?
All right. I can see how you and Elgarnon would hate each other.
He has always been what I most feared becoming. Callous and uncaring, his arrogance unchecked. To have that much power and no one to remind him that he could be wrong.
Well, he had you.
And I suppose I had you.
Just like the Dalish.
You said you found the Dalish frustrating. Why is that?
It is unfair to them. I lived for thousands of years, and after I imprisoned the Venatori, I slept for thousands more. I awoke in a world that had forgotten the ancient times almost entirely. And those who tried to remember Elven history, like the Dalish, had gotten so much wrong.
Betting you argued.
Let me guess. You tried to tell them what they were getting wrong, and they didn't believe you.
There are few things that frustrate me as much as ignorance. I tried to explain the truth to one clan. When I convinced them that I was truly Fen'Harel, they attacked me. After that, I hid my explanations behind the facade of having witnessed events in the Fade.
And the Fade is the realm of dreams. I'll have to present that as evidence.
Yes. The Dalish had no reason to believe me. I could only watch as they continued to worship Elganan, though we may have seen the last of that tradition, at least.
You say so.
I'll have to take your word for that.
When we first met, I saw you only as a foolishly confident child who disrupted my plans. You were an irritant. I gave you information to oppose Elganan out of necessity, but I expected you to be nothing more than a tool. Seeing you with your team, I was wrong.
Oh. Yep.
Yeah, you were.
A mistake I shall endeavor not to repeat. Your team trusts you, and you listen to them. It is impressive and enviable. It took me centuries to build such a bond during my rebellion, and when I served the Inquisition, I tried to avoid entanglements.
What about the Inquisitor?
What about the Inquisitor? Does she not count as a friend?
She does. One of several I grew fond of despite myself when I was with the Inquisition. There was also Cole, a spirit of compassion I helped adapt to our world. He was the only one who knew who I really was. I miss him a great deal. Josephine, the Inquisition's ambassador, was a bastion of kindness and decency in a world that looked down on elves and apostates. Even Cassandra Pendergast of the Order of the Seekers. She was what a believer should be. Faithful, practical, committed to serving, not ruling. I suppose I did bond with the Inquisition after all, as you have with your team.
Thank you for sharing that. So what comes next? What are the gods going to do?
Elganan and Gillenane are preparing the dagger they will use for their ritual to pierce the veil. Elganan's power is tied to light and darkness. He will need to perform a ritual during the next eclipse.
That gives us some time to prepare.
It is likely to be your last chance to do so. You must be ready for whatever comes, for this world and for the team that trusts you. I know that you will do everything in your power not to fail them.
Yep.
So now Elganan's recovered his own archdemon, and the gods only need an eclipse to complete their dagger.
We saved the Dalish, though. That's important.
But now Elganan's immortal, so long as his archdemon lives.
And we all know how hard those things are to kill.
We killed Razikale, didn't we?
After losing hundreds of wardens. And it took a centuries-old trap to do it. We don't have either of those. Not anymore.
Just when you think the tide's in your favor, it turns right back.
Rob's still the same.
The odds on this were never good. But we've already beaten them once. We have a job to finish. And 2 gods to kill. We don't get to wallow and whine. Because no one else is taking this fight.
Nice speech, Rook.
But it's hard to complete a contract if you don't know where the target is.
We found the gods before.
Not without help, we didn't.
So we get help again. We've got allies everywhere now.
What about the Venatori?
What about the Venatori that were at the crater? They might know where the gods are hiding.
Dorian said they were up to something, but it seemed more about returning to the gods' good graces. They lost Elganan's sacrifice. He'll be displeased.
The crows may have something. The Antam are moving large quantities of supplies out of the city. Weapons, armor, gatlock. And several storehouses worth of food, what little we had left. It's enough to feed the Antam Navy for 3 months. Or all of Treviso for 6 weeks.
Given the timing, it seems unlikely to be a coincidence.
Yep.
Wherever those supplies are headed, that's likely where we'll find the gods. Any more details from the crows, Lucanus?
They said the Antam have long work ahead. We have time. Also, Biago would like a meeting. At your earliest convenience. From him, that means important, but not yet urgent.
We prioritize the gods.
Finding the gods is our first priority. Following those supplies is our best chance.
Don't forget, the Shadow Dragons had our back at Lavendel. We should hear them out.
Not to complicate things, but
The Inquisitor also wants to meet Rook.
Right. With everything she's been doing in the south, we owe her an update.
I'll let her know.
Be ready to go.
Keep your weapons ready. We don't know when the gods will show themselves again. Be prepared for anything. Next time the gods appear, let's make sure it's the last.
Okay. Okay, so it sounds like we got a couple main quests to go off of at this point. We gotta meet the Inquisitor, and we gotta head to Treviso to meet with Viago. We got some conversations to do around the lighthouse right now, so let's do that first and then see where we go from there.
Mana, hello. I assume Vorgoth's not far
We
behind.
have her, Rook. We have her. We know exactly what she's planning.
The professor asked us to research the artifact that came into the possession of Johanna Hezenkos.
She carries a gloaming lantern.
Oh, hello.
That bad as it sounds?
They were fashioned in ages past by unscrupulous necromancers. The lanterns steal and concentrate life.
Johanna could use it to leech life from hundreds at a time. An endless source of power.
It's dangerous and dumb.
I never studied necromancy in Tevinter, but isn't that stupidly dangerous?
Johanna is, unfortunately, skilled enough to make an attempt, but we've found her.
She has returned to Blackthorn Manor.
Hezenkos intends to hold a soiree.
That can't be her whole plan.
No, but I propose a small group infiltrate Johanna's lair while she's distracted and destroy her lantern.
Let's do it.
Vorgoth and I must return to the necropolis.
Hunt well.
If only we could make Johanna see reason.
You tried before. She seems stubborn.
Perhaps that's why she attained immortality, while I quake on the threshold. If I make my own bid for lichdom. Oh, it's no use pretending this hasn't stirred up that old dread of my own mortality.
Time to end Hezenkos.
So let's put your old roommate down.
Colleague, never roommates, thank goodness. Oh, Johanna was never beset by these sort of fears.
Little fear's healthy. You'll feel better once we crash her lair and destroy that lantern. Promise.
Hey, I got word from my mother. She wants to talk.
Have you talked with her since?
Nope, not since I told her I was non-binary. But her note said she wanted to talk about that tablet we found, the old Qunari one. Of course that's what she wants to talk about.
Of course.
We can go whenever you're good.
I'll let you know. Hey, what's shaping?
No one says, what's shaping anymore?
I thought it was a dwarf thing.
Yeah, if you lived in Orzammar 20 years ago.
Wow, just trying to be nice, and what do I get? Sass.
Aw, well, I appreciate it. And I'm doing okay. I think I just need some time to think and sort things out.
Or you just live with it. Sounds
Or
harsh.
you just get used to not having all the answers.
At least we don't have to get used to it alone. Huh? I still remember every moment of it. Suffocating under the weight of the Titan's pain. I couldn't see a way past it. And all I wanted was for the rest of the world to suffer too. And then everyone was there. And that's when I knew we'd be okay. That I'd be okay.
You did the fighting.
You needed a little push, but this battle was yours. You fought and you won.
You showed me that my anger doesn't have to destroy me. That it could be a gift in my fight. And you believed in me. Enough to risk everything. I'll never forget that, so don't you forget it either.
Yes, ma'am.
You know, I think about Solas sometimes. He's been trapped by his mistakes for eons. When you're blinded by sorrow and pain, you need someone to help you past it. But he's too proud for that. He believes he's alone, even when he doesn't have to be.
Solas is dangerous.
You can't trust Solas. He manipulates people.
But isn't that itself sad? We go to him with open hands and all he can think about is how to use us. How lonely must that be?
He's planning to kill thousands. He's beyond help, Harding.
The Inquisitor and Solas were friends. I know she wants her friend back. She's reached out. All Solas has to do is take the offered hand, the simplest thing. And yet, no one's beyond help, Rook. No one. I have to believe it. Or none of this matters.
Hey, Rook. Have time for something outside the lighthouse? I was going to head to Arlathan with the sun. See a real sky again. You're welcome to join us.
Good, you're here.
What happened?
A note from Viago. Katerina is alive.
What? How?
Zara's carcass told the truth. Ilario didn't arrange Katerina's death because he spirited her away. Katerina has been a prisoner in her own villa, with Ilario as her keeper.
Oh, he needs to pay.
She's been kept there all this time. That's another reason to take him out.
Ilario is making his move. He's hosting the Talons of the Crows at Via della Morte. All of them.
Let's crash his party.
All it's missing is some heavily armed, uninvited guests. Shall we?
As soon as we've prepared. We have to do this carefully. Ilario has to be expecting us.
You think he knows that we know about him and Elganon?
He wouldn't be avoiding us otherwise. Be ready for a trap.
It'll be slow going through Treviso.
Not for us. We're going by water, and Spite is keen to get this done.
Then let's make this a night to remember.
There's something I need to do, back home.
Everything all right?
Yeah, just chasing Aelia. It brings a lot up. If you're around, maybe. I'd take the company.
Sure thing, Nev.
Tell me about Anaris.
He is the light, the hope of Elvenan, the bringer of...
Tell me about the war against the Evenuris.
Even now, the armies of Anaris wage a glorious war against the...
Tell me about the armies.
The chosen of Elvenan, made pure and stripped of their want to serve the great Anaris.
So demons. He made an army of demons. Damn it, Syrian. What have you done? Oh, Rook.
Is this a bad time?
Sorry, it's now a bad time. I can come back.
It's not great, but later won't be better. Syrian. He wants to meet, to explain himself.
It's kind of hard to explain turning people into demons.
I know. Talking to him again, knowing what I know, it's hard. Beyond hard. And that's if this isn't all a big trap.
So don't go.
Then don't meet him. You don't owe him anything.
I do, though. Owe him. Syrian kept me grounded, focused, made sure I was okay. And I took care of him, protected him because I loved my little brother, and I owed him. But what he is now, who he is now, I don't know. I'd hoped the archive would make it easy, tell me it was a misunderstanding. But Anaris is evil, full stop. And if my brother's working with him...
Maybe he has a reason.
Syrian must be working with him for a reason.
I'd like to believe that. It'd make this easier. When I thought he died, it almost broke me. I don't know if I can do that again.
So what are you going to do?
Meet with him.
Are you okay with that?
No, but I need to talk to him. Convince him he's wrong.
And if that doesn't work?
Will you come with me?
Of course.
Thanks, Rook. Really. Just tell me when you're ready.
All right, so we got some conversations, we got some quests with our companions, so let's get started on those. We're going to go with Balara, and we're going to go talk to Syrian in Arlathan Forest.
Balara, you came. I am surprised.
I almost didn't. With everything that happened, I didn't want to. But you're my brother. Still, even with all of that. Did you come? Alone?
Yes. Though you didn't.
Not after what happened to Hamuel. To Yanarl. The others.
The ritual should have granted them purity. Strength. That it did not. That is my failure. I was not worthy. I will do better. I must do better. For Ernaris. For our people.
Hold comfort to them.
Fine. Tell their loved ones it was an accident. See how it goes over.
When we are great once more, when we are pure, then they will understand the sacrifices that were necessary.
He's a warlord. That's all he is, all he ever was.
So said the Evanurus. But the victors write the histories. He fought to make our people great. And the Evanurus fought to keep them in fetters. He showed me the world as it once was, as it could be again.
At what cost?
How many elves have to die to get there?
Greatness requires sacrifice.
No, that's not the Syrian I know. He's influencing you through the mask, poisoning your thoughts.
My thoughts remain my own, Balara. Why can you not accept that I chose this willingly? Through this mask, I feel what he feels. When he thinks of our people rising once more, have you ever felt the warmth of a god's happiness or the cold bite of their fear?
What is it he's afraid of then?
I'm not sure, but it haunts him, consumes his thoughts. I must help him. Help us to face whatever it is.
So he hasn't told you what it is he's afraid of?
No, but no doubt he keeps it from me for good reason.
Oh, for sure. You're a fool.
He's playing you for a fool.
Syrian, I know you. You don't want to do this. You were my anchor, Syrian. You kept me grounded. When my thoughts lied to me, you always told me the same thing. Do you remember? Trust your heart, Boris Shivan. It's a good heart, and it'll never lie to you. So why won't you trust it now?
I must do what I must.
Me too.
We're gonna have to stop them. Him.
I know. Come on. You've got work to do.
What an idiot. Alright, well, I guess there's no real talking to Syrian. We got another conversation in Arlathan Forest with Davrin, so let's go meet up with him.
A picnic, huh? Don't know how I pictured hanging out with a monster hunter.
Evka and Antoine's doing. They told me after all the wardens have been through, and what's ahead, I should take a break.
I'm surprised you actually listened.
You know how sad Antoine can look?
So what did you pack for the picnic?
Emmerich helped me brew a ginger wort truffle tea. I thought we'd see what all the fuss is about.
Ginger wort tea, is this safe?
Has Emmerich actually tried this tea out yet?
He looked it up in some books. Says people used to drink it all the time.
And lived to tell about it?
Bottoms up.
Oh, damn.
That's not bad.
It's, gingery, but also garlic, hints of mushroom, and, something else. Oh, well, I've never eaten a worm, but yeah, it is a little earthy. Wait, what?
Wait, huh?
There, Davrin.
What?
What the heck?
Hassan just talked to me.
Huh? What did he say?
No, not that. What you said before.
Emmerich said ginger wort might have some kind of magical properties.
More than mine.
What the?
Maybe it affects some people more than others. You all right, Rook?
Back at you, Hassan.
Worms to you too, Hassan.
Worms?
Yeah, you wouldn't get it. It's between me and Hassan.
You want to dig some up for him? Be my guest.
I'll skip that. Thanks for getting me out of the lighthouse, Davrin. And with good company.
Worms. Okay, well that was interesting. Conversation with Davrin and Hassan. We got another conversation with Nev in Docktown, so let's head on over there and see what's up with Nev.
The Minrathous Wall of Light.
A light to remember the dead.
Unless the family lacks mages to keep them lit, or the money for one, then you're left in the dark to vent his subtlety. This was Brahms.
Rana's old partner.
His light was out when I got here. I should have been back sooner.
I'll pay respects to.
The light drawn echoes back in eternum.
Formalities. He wasn't big on those, but he'd appreciate it. I'm stopping Aelia.
Looks like we had the same idea.
Rana.
He read serials between assignments. Romance. The last one ended on a cliffhanger. He was sure he knew the ending. I never checked if he was right.
Better not knowing.
Not everything needs an answer.
Some things do. You're not the only one chasing Aelia. I've tracked some of her followers. They aren't quick to talk. Most said I'd be saved soon. But I did get the name of a place. Sanctum Lucican.
Lucican? What's the catch?
Why aren't you there now?
It's an old temple. A lost one. If there's a record of its location, I can't find it.
It's more than we had. I can track this down.
And you'll tell me? Look, I know who else you work with, what they might suggest, but what are you going to do?
What I have to.
Docktown needs to see...
What? Magisters who look the other way? Bribed Templars? Venatori who walk?
They see you.
Is that all? Docktown needs protection, not an example.
Brom's light. Thanks.
Sure.
All right. Temple Lucican. That's an interesting location. Yeah, we're still here in Minrathous in Docktown, and we got a letter from Mayvarus. earlier on. Message from Minrathous. We heard the wonderful news coming out of Arlathan. You're doing told the Venatori are still reeling from their failure, and Dorian's caught wind of some of their most recent plans. Drop by at the shop when you can. So I'm curious to see what that's all about. So while we're here, let's go check in with Mayvaris and see what she needs to talk about.
You spend far too much time here, Dorian.
This is where all my favorite people are. Besides, I have news, and every messenger bird I've met is dreadful at nuance.
Venatori again.
The damn Venatori up to no good again?
What else? The cult lost people in Arlathan, and leadership has fallen to Knight Commander Lenos. He aims to bring the city to its knees.
But Minrathous is already falling apart.
I know. While the Verantis' attack on the city could have been much worse, the people's fear in the aftermath is palpable.
And the rumors about the Archon are true. He's dead. Assassinated during the Dragon's rampage. The palace has tried to keep the news from spreading until a new Archon steps up.
And no one has?
No one dares. Not with the Venatori circling like vultures. The risen gods are preparing for something big. And for that, they need fear. Chaos.
They won't get far.
Just tell me how I stop them. What are they planning?
That's the problem. I don't know. But we'll find out. Lenos is the key to all of it. First, we stop what he's planning for Minrathous.
And then we find out what the gods are preparing for.
Let's hope it stays that simple. One of Lenos' Venatori associates is often at the Cobbled Swan. Let's see what we can get from him.
We? Dorian, you can't be going yourself.
It's the Swan. Everyone goes to the Swan.
I'll head out right now.
Alright. So we gotta go meet Dorian at the Cobbled Swan. We gotta uncover some Venatori plot in Minrathous. We're gonna do that next time. That's going to do it for this part of the playthrough. We got some progress with our companions. We got some more companion quests to do, so that's good. And we got a big quest here in Minrathous to do, and we'll do that first thing in the next part. So look forward to that. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed it, hit the like button and leave in the comments anything you found interesting in this part, anything you liked. I gotta say, one thing that I did like from this part is we're already done Harding's questline. Like, we've already completed that, but yet she still has more conversations with her. Like, her character is still building as the story goes on. It's not just little quick reactions to anything that's going in other quests. There's actually still like character and relationship building with her even after we're done her questline, which is really cool to see, and really curious to see if that continues with other companions after we finish their quests. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And also, don't forget, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. It's greatly appreciated. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one.